Picture this. The White House takes a fentanyl trafficker's arrest and turns it into a Studio Ghibli meme and posts it on their official X account. No, this is not a fever dream. This is March 2025 reality. Welcome to post-normalcy, where nothing makes sense, everything's a meme, and AI is running the show. This isn't your Grams world anymore, folks. The Studio Ghibli meme trend exploded last week thanks to ChatGPT's shiny new image generator, and you probably saw them and just don't know what they were or what they were referring to, although our audience is a bunch of freaking nerds, so you probably did know what it was referring to, and our audience is also too online, so you probably knew also the instance it was making fun of, but most people who don't know anything about any of this are normies. For those of you who don't know, Studio Ghibli is a legendary Japanese animation studio co-founded by Hayao Miyazaki, known for films like Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, and Princess Mononoke. People were turning everything, memes, selfies, even 9/11, into that lush, whimsical Ghibli art style. And then, on March 27th, the White House dropped a Ghiblified arrest scene of an ICE officer hauling off Virginia Basora Gonzalez, a Dominican woman who is crying anime tears while wearing a hairnet.
Why are you wearing the hairnet? You're bald.
And when I first saw this, I was like, oh, wow. Now they're mocking the fact that they're deporting lunch ladies? I literally thought it was a lunch lady and they were just making fun of the fact that they were deporting regular lunch ladies. I was like, that's crass. And that's when I started contemplating, what does Trump have to do to make me regret voting for him? Are lunch ladies my line in the sand? And then I was like, or are we deporting people for being fat now? Because this lady is obese. I was like, oh my gosh, is Make America Healthy Again deporting people? That ICE agent in the meme does look a little bit like RFK Jr. It would bring our health insurance rates down. I don't know if I'm totally against it. Deport the fats, I say. I'm here for it. And then I was like, oh, she's a fentanyl dealer. Well, I'm here for that too. Obviously, the backlash was instantaneous. X lit up with people calling it fascist fan art and a new low, and critics said it trivialized a real person's suffering and clashed with Ghibli's whole vibe. And then you had the other side, Trump fans and edgelords cheering it on like, it's a joke, they said, and like a warning to drug runners because nothing scares drug runners like cartoon memes. Some even called it peak creativity from a White House usually stuck in boring press releases. And if this is peak creativity, well, let the nukes fly. We're done here, folks. It's been a good run. So I was thinking a lot about this because there was like a vibe shift that happened around this. Something changed, and I was thinking a lot about it over the weekend and what it meant. Given that moderate voters are the only voters that matter, I started to wonder if the White House considered how it might look to be gleefully sending a crying lunch lady back to the country of origin that she probably had to escape. But what do I know? I'm only one of those voters.
I'm the asshole in the place, right? I'm the asshole?
God forbid anyone thinks strategically in this administration. In some ways, maybe it is strategic. It's chum for the culture wars. This automatically just drives everyone into their camps. The left immediately says, this is proof they're Nazis. See how they're dehumanizing people?
Literally Hitler.
And the right says, crime or live, this was a fentanyl dealer.
If you don't like America, then you can get out.
Meanwhile, those moderates I mentioned, some of whom had to hold their nose and vote for Trump, might be looking at this image and thinking, wait, do I support this? And also, this looks like my cleaning lady. Normies, you see, don't like being reminded of all the deportations and what's going on, and certainly not in a mocking way. What they would prefer is if you deport all of those undesirables without talking about it all the time. For moderates who see something like this meme, they can't defend it at their dinner parties, and moderates are like groundhogs who see their own shadow every time someone challenges them to defend their positions. They're scared back into their hole. They're too delicate, you see. Our most delicate resource is the moderate voter. We must protect them at all costs. This is why normies hate open kitchens, too. They don't want to see how the food is made. They just want to eat. The truth is we suck, but we don't suck enough that we want to see the fentanyl dealer cry as she suffers consequences for her actions. We want her to suffer those consequences. We just don't want to see it. Do I need to repeat myself? The United States is like the Capitol in the Hunger Games. We don't give a fuck what's happening in District 12, and we don't want to know. But it doesn't matter because most normies aren't even on X, so they're safe from their shadows for another day. And this whole situation is your culture war trifecta. The left sees dystopia, the right sees genius, and centrists, who knows what they see? They're burying their heads in a hole. It's 2025 in a nutshell. Two ideological groups fighting over an issue that will ultimately be decided by the people in the middle who care the least.
The system works.
I really am curious what my audience thinks about this. I wonder if you guys are on the fence, if you think it was a step too far, do you think it was harmless fun, or just a giant Gen X whatever. I get it, guys. I'm just trying to pay my bills, take care of my aging parents and my toddlers because I had kids too late, and it's chaos. I don't have time to keep up with all this nonsense, and sadly, it's my job.